It's time for another blistering report from the front lines of the cultural war for a constitutional America. And now, here's your host, Charles Benninghoff.
Americans are filled with hope once again after they elected a president who is putting America first. But the America First movement is in danger so long as Paul Ryan remains the Speaker of the House. I can't think of a single policy objective that propelled President Trump to victory in 2016 that Paul Ryan actually supports. In fact, Ryan's track record so far has been to oppose everything that the president has attempted to do. We're making a difference in chipping away at Paul Ryan's support within the GOP caucus, and I believe working together, we can send Paul Ryan packing if we keep the pressure on Congress, just like we booted former House Speaker John Boehner straight out the door. And the glorious day when that happens, we'll be supporting a new Speaker of the House, someone who actually believes in America and who will fight for America instead of against her. Today, I'll be talking about our privileged motion to vacate the Speaker's chair. I'll let you know what Paul Ryan is really doing behind the scenes and out in the open to obstruct President Trump's agenda. And I'll let you know how you can speak out and demand that Paul Ryan be fired and replaced with an America First Speaker of the House. So, you got to ask the question, why do we urge people to speak out? The reason why is, it makes a tremendous difference. Here's one example. Back in 2015, a Muslim terrorist killed 5 sailors and Marines in Chattanooga, Tennessee in a recruiting office. During that attack, Navy Lieutenant Commander Timothy White shot back, and you know what? He shot back with a concealed handgun. The Obama administration wanted to court-martial Tim White for using a firearm in a military recruiting office that Obama had unilaterally declared to be a gun-free zone. Someplace our military is a gun-free zone. Only a Democrat like Obama can come up with something like that. I couldn't believe it. Americans couldn't either. Tim White saved many dozens of lives through his actions, but Obama wanted to throw him into Leavenworth, the federal prison. Our network of Patriots sent personal letters to the Chief of Naval Operations and the House Subcommittee on Military Personnel, opposing Obama and opposing that court-martial. We ran that campaign as a freebie at no cost to the senders, and we picked up the tab for every single letter that was sent. And the Obama administration backed down. It backed down due to the public backlash that we generated. And you know what? We can do that again. Those personal letters made a tremendous difference. And if making a real difference in America's future inspires you, then I hope you'll click on the subscribe button on this YouTube channel and click on the banner at the top of the screen to be taken to a page where you can subscribe to my newsletters. You can do each one separately. Click on a one to subscribe when it appears, and when the banner comes across the top, click on the second one. You can do both actions on one video. Now, on to our subject for today. Why is Paul Ryan set against everything that President Trump supports? Because Paul Ryan's a globalist, and he's bought and paid for by globalists, and at the head of the pack of Ryan's globalist supporters is the infamous George Soros. According to filings with the Federal Election Commission, Paul Ryan received more cash from Soros funds than any other Republican in Congress. Last year alone, $10,800. Ryan has been a so-called, quote, never Trump, close quote, ever since he took Soros's donation money. Does that make a connection for you in your mind? It does in mine. But aside from the bribes that he has taken from globalists like George Soros, Paul Ryan is a true believer in the globalist agenda. Take a listen to Paul Ryan in his own words. In 2013, Ryan attended a Hispanic listening session in Wisconsin, in which he declared that his job as a member of Congress, if you don't believe this, I can understand, but he described as his job as a member of Congress is to put himself in the shoes of illegal aliens and figure out how to make their lives easier. Forget about the Americans who are searching for jobs. Forget about the homeless Americans. Forget about the American veterans who are homeless and living on welfare. His job, Ryan's job, self-described, is trying to figure out how to make life easier for illegal aliens. He's not a Republican. He's a globalist Democrat. And you know what? You can't make this stuff up. So I can show you how I'm going to prove this. Here's a clip. Listen for yourself.
This is the American dream. This is the American ideal. Look, put yourself in another person's shoes, which if you're in elected office, you kind of have to do that almost every single day. The job we have, and what we do is we take different people's perspectives. The gentleman from India who's waiting for his green card, the dreamer who's waiting. We take all these perspectives, we process it through our value and our moral and our principles, and then we come up with answers to try to solve problems. That's basically what we do in our jobs.
Paul Ryan hates the idea of America being a sovereign nation that is separate and apart from the UN. That's how much of a globalist he really is. Well, actually, what he does hate is sovereignty. He hates sovereignty for America. He hates sovereignty for you. But he doesn't hate sovereignty for himself. Let me prove it. For example, last week, Paul Ryan stated he's not going to fund the wall on our southern border, a wall that many Mexicans support. Keep people in Mexico, make Mexico a good, productive country. Keep jobs in America for Americans. What's wrong with that? Well, Ryan doesn't like it. He's just too busy to implement the number one policy objective of the Trump administration and the platform that actually got Trump elected, building the wall. But for his own sovereignty, Ryan has built his own wall. Yeah, it's a big wall too. Big, beautiful, strong, protective, daunting, a wall around his mansion in Wisconsin. Ryan does not want a wall on America's southern border to protect Americans from drug cartel, Muslim terrorists, and aliens who are taking away our jobs, but he wants a wall for himself. That's the kind of guy Paul Ryan is. He wants to protect his family. He wants your family to be unprotected. And who can forget the Ryan Care debacle? Paul Ryan's fake Obamacare repeal bill that went down in flames when even moderate Republicans failed to support it after hearing from Americans who follow Pray for Us, expressing their opinion 50-1 against Ryan Care. Senator Paul Ryan from Kentucky actually got up and stormed out of a meeting with Paul Ryan in disgust last month when it became clear to him that Paul Ryan was not going to listen to any conservative in the House or the Senate about repealing Obamacare. Ryan was going to do it his way or no way at all, and it turned out no way at all is what happened. And now America is still saddled with Obamacare. And you know what? This is Paul Ryan's fault. The reason why Paul Ryan has stood this way is because his supporters support Obamacare, big pharma, big medicine. They're making billions off Obamacare. Forget what the premiums Americans have to pay, bankrupting them and putting them out of their own houses. It all matters what's put into Paul Ryan's pocket by his donors. Republican Congressman Justin Amash from Michigan came out last week and he stated, I quote, "We need either a change in direction from the speaker or we need a new speaker." Well, guess what? This yokel is never going to change. We need a new speaker. A source close to President Trump told Breitbart News recently, and I quote, "There's only one course of action that should be taken to move past this catastrophe, and that's a swift removal of Paul Ryan from the speakership," and I close quote. With that opposition in mind, now is the perfect time for our followers to tell the House Freedom Caucus to fire Paul Ryan. We've drafted a new privileged motion to vacate the Speaker's chair, and you can download and read a copy of it today on our action page. A privileged motion can be offered to the House by any representative, and it cannot be blocked by a committee or a House Speaker. When the sponsor decides to do so, the motion is advanced to the House floor for an immediate vote. The privileged motion was drafted by Thomas Jefferson back in the early 1800s, and this rule of Jefferson's has been in effect in the House since then. Paul Ryan is a bought and paid for globalist who opposes repealing Obamacare. He opposes a wall on our southern border, and he opposes tax cuts. We need to send Paul Ryan packing, and with your help, we can do it. So, go to our action page today and start sending personal letters to the House Freedom Caucus, the entire GOP caucus, or, for that matter, to the entire Congress. Let them know that you want a new Speaker of the House, a true patriot, an American Speaker for the House, an America First Speaker for the House, not Paul Ryan. I know we can do this with your help because we did the same thing to the last globalist House Speaker, John Boehner. We can get rid of Boehner. We can get rid of Ryan. It just takes Americans to get behind this action. And I'm asking you to take action. So stay tuned. Listen to Bob Mallory. He'll have instructions on the next screen describing how you can get to our action page. You can take action, and you can become your own action hero in getting rid of Paul Ryan. This is Charles Benninghoff signing off and wishing you freedom, fulfillment, and God's many blessings.
If you're on our action page on our website, use the form next to the video screen to select a program and send personal letters to Congress. If you're watching this on YouTube or Facebook, click the icon appearing now to find the link to our action page, or check the video's description to find the link. Speak out today.